Hello everyone. So today we are going to do Leetcode daily challenge means stack. So basically in this question, what we need to do is we need to perform these four operations. But these four operations need to be performed in constant time. We already know that push, pop and top. All three operations are already constant time operations. But getting minimum, that also we need to perform in order of n time. So basically for doing this part, we need to do modification in the stack. Either we can use two stacks, means S1 and S2, and store elements in this, or we can use a single stack, but we could store elements in it in the form of pair. Means it will solve the same purpose as these S1, S2 stack. Means these two options we could perform. Now the thing is why we are using two stack or pair of stack. So for push, pop and top means for all these three operations, what we can do is we would be simply storing everything in a particular stack, right? But for get min operation, say let us take that example only, which is given in here. Here we are having this minus no question. Yes, question is this only minus 2 0 minus 3, and then means earlier min stack is there, means that min stack is being called, and while pushing we are pushing minus 2, then pushing 0, then pushing minus 3, and then getting minimum, so nothing is there, then pop, nothing is there, and then top, and then get min. So the question is simply that if we are having elements like this, I'm taking by my own, these all are push up there, then we have a pop operation, then top operation, then again pop operation, and these were all for the push operation, right? So for in stack, first minus 2 would be pushed, then 0 would be pushed, then minus 3, then 1, and then 2, and here 1 again, and then here minus 1. So at this moment, we are having minus 2 as min. At this moment again minus 2, here minus 3, here again minus 3, here again minus 3, here again minus 3, right? But the thing is that when we are having this get min operation which we need to perform, means another stack would be maintained in which we will be storing these digits. So for that purpose, we are simply maintaining two stacks, so that at every moment what is the minimum element, we could simply store that particular in that other stack. I was thinking to do this question by simply maintaining a variable that at each moment, which is the variable in which I need to store the minimum element. But the only flaw with that thing was that if I maintain a variable, a min variable, and not a stack, then in that case, the thing would be when we pop our element, like um, here we pop this, then this, then this, and this also, right? So in our main variable, which is there, means if we are maintaining main variable, right? So here the answer would be minus 3. Then all the elements are being greased, right? But when we pop out this particular element, so then our answer should be minus 2. But our main variable has already stored this minus 3 there. So that's why we need to maintain a stack rather than a simple variable. So this was the explanation that how we can do this, but I want to more clarify it with while doing the code. before doing the code, let me summarize it that what I really need to say, that whenever we need to push, right? So we'll simply push it here. Everything would be pushed like this only. And when we need to return the top, it will be simply returning the top. Here top is 5, so if top operation is there, then 5 would be returned. And if pop operation comes up, then simply 5 would be popped out. And then our new array would be simply -2 and -1. Right? At this moment, our minimum element was simply -2. Right? So that would be simply maintained in an external stack. Here it will compare that now the element which is being pushed into this stack, is it smaller or greater. If it is greater, then the previous element would be stored again and same goes ahead. So this would be the scenario. But if this element is again popped, right? So this one would be popped, this one, both of them would be popped, and then we are simply left with -2 and -2. So if getMin would be called, then this would be returned as a part of getMin operation. So that's why we are maintaining two stacks. One would be simply storing all the original numbers, another would be simply storing the minimum which is there at that particular position. Right? So rather than using two stacks, you could simply modify this solution by simply taking one stack but storing two elements at the single time. Like with 5, I would be storing -2, -2, and here -2. Means this particular would be our minimum and these would be our original elements. So this is how I would be storing by simply taking a stack and uh, making a stack of pairs. So this is how I can store, and the getMin operation in this scenario would be simply order of n, or basically not order of n, it will be again order of 1 only, because we are simply getting our minimum at the top of the stack only. Means whenever we simply call that getMin, then we'll get the answer at the top of that particular stack only. So this is how we can do. Now let's come up to the coding part, and how we need to code it. So for coding, we simply need to first take a stack. Here I'll simply initialize the stack like this, right? Means this would be the first thing we need to do. Then second thing, when we will be simply doing this push operation, at that moment, because we are pushing, so nothing need to be returned, so its function type would be void only. As we are doing push operation, at that moment, we simply need to take a minimum variable. This variable would be simply pushed to the stack only. Means it is not the variable which is being maintained. Means it is kept here only and it is not workable for stack. So here a minimum variable will be taken, and that will be simply storing the minimum element at that time. So while getting that minimum element, we need to check that our S is not empty, because if it would be empty, then there is no point. And other thing, we are pushing X element here. Other thing would be simply that we need to check if S dot top dot second, because we are maintaining a pair. If that particular element, means whatsoever is at the top, if it is less than our X, right? So we will be simply, means this is all we need to check. If it is less than, then we simply need to, means this will be checking, and I am here simply doing with ternary operator, so that's why I'll use a question mark in colons. So it will check if it is less than the x, right? So we'll simply get this particular element and that would be the min, else our x would be the min. And here we will be simply pushing s dot push as they are paired, so it will be pushed like this, x comma min. So this is how they would be pushed. So this would be the functioning of our push operation, right? And then comes the part for pop. As we are popping, nothing returns, so it will be again void pop, and we'll simply perform the pop operation as dot pop, nothing else. And then we are having s dot top. Now here, what would be the top? As it need to return end, so here it would be like this, end top, and it will return s dot top dot first. These brackets that I need to cross check basically. As per my understanding, I'll check. I surely have the syntactical error here. And then for get min again, int get min. Here I need to check for the second element, s dot top dot second. So this is how we will be implementing. Let me check for the bracket part. Uh, for that bracket part, top, then first don't have. Okay, yes. So first is not having any bracket, only top is having bracket because top is the function. So that's why it is having the bracket. But first is just the pairs first and pair second. That's why I don't have any bracket. So this was all for it, and as it is labeled as the easy question, so that's why it is the easy one only. But thing is, we just need to get into our mind that how we need to do it, either by using two stacks, or we could use by simply taking one stack, but we could use by creating pair in it. So this is how we need to do this. And regarding the time complexity and space complexity, so time complexity is simply order of 1 only, but the space complexity is order of n because of the stack which is being there. So this was all for this question, and if you have any query or if you have any suggestion or any other solution, you could simply comment down. I would be happy to check the comments also. Thank you.